Let's go. Everybody spam those W's in the live chat. For people in the comments below on replay, spam them. The Mets win another walk-off this week by a final score of 10-9 over the Cleveland Guardians. We're going to be breaking it down, sharing my raw reaction and analysis to innings 1 through 9. The kids came to play again. Polar Bear Pete cannot be stopped. And Francisco Lindor against his former team. His first game against the Guards since he was traded back when he was an Indian before the team name even changed. He goes out with the walk-off hit. I want to see those dubs spam in the live chat right effing now. Let's effing go, guys. I'm going to try to compose myself a little bit because literally these big wins I was just there when we saw the walk-off happen in person. Now this, absolutely insane. Anxiety's through the roof. I don't care. I'm going to compose myself the best I can. This was so needed. This team, dare I say, they are so back. Let's effing go. Let's go, baby. Spam those damn W's. That's what I want to see more than anything. How's it going, all you beautiful people in Mets land? It's your boy, Wardy, and we're breaking down another Mets victory as they win by a final score 10-9 over the Cleveland Guardians. The Mets pitching did all they could outside of Ottavino and Robertson to stop the Mets from winning this ball game today. Buck Showalter was anything but good with his decisions that we saw there in the 7th, but the bats came to play. The kids, it's almost like you give them a leash and they're going to take advantage. Francisco Alvarez is the youngest player in baseball, and he's absolutely torching baseballs. He's giving the Mets game-tying runs and extras. There's so much to be happy about this Mets team right now. Finally, they are now back at 500, and hopefully this is start of more and more to come with this Mets team. But how we feeling? How we doing, baby? How you guys doing? We back. You love to see it. You absolutely love to see it, boys. I'm so juiced up right now. I'm sweating like an absolute dog. I don't care. Oh my God, was this shout out my great sponsors in Mojo Sportsbook, So Rare MLB for the Brett Beatty jersey giveaway that we're discussing later on, and Man to Sleep. More of them later, guys. How we doing? All you beautiful SOBs, how you doing? Oh my God. These bats, dare I say, I'm going to say it again, parental advisory, this offense fucks. I'm sorry. You know, it does. Vientos, Beatty, Alvarez, bang, bang, boom. The kids are producing. They are getting it done. I understand. Maybe you didn't need to want to have to bank on kids early in the year, but they're taking advantage of the opportunities given to them, guys. They're going out there. They're barreling baseballs. They're showing really strong defense, too. They're doing everything that you want from this Mets team right now. They're putting the ball in play. This lineup looks as deep as ever when they are right. How's it going, everybody? Mama Worm, love you, too. Appreciate all my live viewers, my right around 500 live viewers. Make sure to smash that like and subscribe button, guys. We have a lot of breakdown. I couldn't even set up a normal Wardy's player of the game because there was so many to pick and choose from. Pete Alonso with the grand slammy, you beautiful son of a bitch. I love you so much with that grand slammy. 4 straight games with a home run for Polar Bear. 17 bombs on the year. It's May 19th. It's almost like that's what happens when you're the best slugger in baseball since arriving in the league. Yeah, I'm sorry, this isn't a slight on anyone else, but no one is a better home run hitter than Pete Alonso. And I don't want to hear that nonsense about Judge with 60. Yes, that was great last year, but since Alonso has come in the league, he has been king, and that isn't changing right now. Speaking of Alonso, before I talk about other players, he tied Lucas Duda for the most home runs in Mets history at Citi Field with 71. I had the privilege back in April 6th of 2019 to be in attendance for Pete Alonso's first home run at Citi Field. Fast forward, he's already hit 71 at the park. Are you effing kidding me? It is crazy seeing this elite hitter, overall one of the best sluggers in the game, right before our eyes, continuing to mash baseballs while he's battling the flu, no less. And then you have, again, Alvarez with his heroics, not only with the home run that we saw earlier in the ball game, but of course with that game-tying RBI there. 0-2 against Emmanuel Clase, with the best closer in baseball. Alvarez says, I don't give a flying you-know-what. I'm going to get that out of the infield. The game-tying run is going to score. Why? Because Eduardo Escobar, base running awareness, pinch running there in the 10th for Vientos, who gave the Mets an RBI single to make it a 10-9 ball game. Mets down by 1. Escobar steals second base that you see there. He shouldn't have stole that bag, but it was a bad throw, and Rosario, former Met, couldn't handle it. And then he scores. Beautiful base running, not a good enough to throw from the outfield there from Cleveland after Alvarez rips that through the infield. And then Francisco Lindor, first pitch swinging right down the pipe. How you doing? Through the infield, and that's going to win the ball game. Let's fucking go. Let's go, baby. Oh my God. Yes. Yes. That's what we needed. That is what we need, baby. We're back in the effing New York groove. That's what's up. That is what's up. How you doing? Damn, this was good. It's so good. It's so good. I'm so happy. The Mets have a team that's worth watching now. They have life. They have kids producing. Finally, our prayers have been answered. Thank you. It's, and I don't give it. I know people are going to be like, oh, Wardy, why are you acting like the Mets just won the World Series? Trust me, if the Mets won the World Series, I don't even know if I'd be able to stream because I wouldn't be able to handle myself. With how the Mets played for basically the past month straight, these wins are so pivotal. They're so character building. They mean so much more to this team and this fan base than you can possibly imagine if you've been following along game by game the way that I know I have and the way that I know all you beauties have. Dave, thank you so much for the $5 donation. Great comeback win. Come up to see me tomorrow, Wardy. Dave, LFGM. Dave, thank you so much for the donation. I appreciate that. I don't know if the game's going to happen tomorrow. I'll give you guys an update on that right now. It's supposed to rain tomorrow. I have to do a 2.5-hour hike to Citi Field, so I don't even know for certain if I'm going to be there because it might be a long rain delay. I'm going with a buddy of mine, so I hope that's going to work out. But as of now, I'm not loving the weather tomorrow, and I would much prefer if they do a doubleheader on Sunday, but they might be against it because you got the Lindor bobblehead tomorrow that a lot of people are raving for. But, of course, ESPN has to host the night game on Sunday, so if they do a doubleheader, say on Sunday, it'll be a split doubleheader. It will not be a single admission, single ticket doubleheader. So I don't know what's going to happen tomorrow. I'll keep you guys update on that. I'm really pissed off about the weather, but what I am happy about is this Mets victory. I will say that much. AZ, thank you so much for the donation. He says, let's effing go Mets. We back. Yes, we are back, baby. You'll love to see it. SR with the $10 holla. Thank you so much. Who would have known the power bats were sitting in the minors and we were chasing in trades and the bats were just sitting right there in the minors? I mean, again, the way that Mauricio, who is chomping at the bit. Mauricio had another 3 hits tonight, folks, and leads all of minor league baseball with 62 hits so far this season. Ronnie is the next man up. It's a matter of when, not if, he will be called up this season. Trust me, he will. Just a matter of when, not if. But you see Alvarez. We talked about Ronnie, Beatty, Vientos. All these kids and their mother are performing so well. And now we're seeing them thrive right before our eyes. They're blossoming right before our eyes at the MLB level. I just can't get over the fact that the Mets were down 5-0 in this game because Cookie, surprise, crumbled in his Mets debut back. Again, I love Cookie. It's nothing personal with him, but he just isn't sharp. At one point, he retired 7 batters. The velo wasn't bad today, but his location is just awful. Just throwing pitches right down the dick. He threw a spinner that was ripped by Naylor to go opposite field to drive in 2 more runs when it was pardon me. Was that actually... No, pardon me, maybe that wasn't Cookie. I might be thinking of Leon, who should not have pitched back-to-back innings, and I'll discuss that more shortly. But, again, the pitching did there. If you're not named Adam Ottavino, got a 1-2-3 inning in the 8th or 9th, and if you're not David Robertson, who got a 1-2-3 inning in the 9th, and thanks to elite defense by McNeil and Alonso diving out to get the final out of the inning ahead of extras, if you're not those 2 relievers, you're a schmuck to me today. I'm sorry. You just weren't good, right? Cookie wasn't good. Leon wasn't good. Nogosic wasn't good. Smith didn't get the job done. I mean, I know Hunter was in there for like an hour or two, so I mean, he wasn't terrible, I guess, but the point stands. The pitching did all they could, for the most part, to make the Mets lose this game, and the bats just said, no, we're winning no matter what. That shows you that this offense is finding life. They are locked in. The kids, this youth movement, as Lindor famously said in the postgame today, are the babies. Those are the little babies in the lab. They are doing exactly what you could hope for and then some for this Mets team. And to see all these kids in the lineup at the same time for the first time at the MLB level, and Alvarez, Vientos, and Beatty, and they all produce. Beatty with an opposite field bomb today off a Quantrill first pitch swinging. How you doing? And the 6th, if I'm not mistaken. Then you see there Alvarez with the home run and a game-tying RBI in extras. Vientos with an RBI up the middle in extras. What? What? So good. So effing good. 8 Lavelle, thank you so much for the donation. He says, what's up, Wardy? Hope your family and friends are doing well. We're doing fantastic. Hoping the same for you. What a game. Alonso is clutch, and Lindor against this old team is amazing. The rookies gave this team a shot of life. Let's go Mets, baby. Yes, the effing did. And guys, I cannot wait. A little bit later in the show, we're going to be talking more on the Brett Beatty jersey giveaway. No better time to discuss it after he hits another bomb today and shows strong defense there in the hot corner. All Even Podcast, thank you so much for the donation. all even says, let me go up here because I don't want to miss anyone's donos before we go on to breaking down the game. I'm going to go through any by any, be fairly quick, but just explain the build-up for fans that are watching on replay that didn't get a chance to catch the Mets game, as you're also watching from the highlights as follows and all that stuff. There's a vibe back in Queens. The team is tough. $2 Hall, thank you so much. Couldn't agree more. Going further here with the comments, guys, we got roughly 700 live viewers. Happy to have all you beauties in here as the Mets, again, win a masterful game, offensive galore by the team against a team that has sucked this year offensively in Cleveland. So, of course, the bats break out for them, including Rosario had an RBI today, too, if I'm not mistaken. Yes, he did. Good for Rosie as long as the Mets win. That's all that matters to me. Andre Smiz went 0 for 4 today, but I feel like he's going to torch the Mets at some point in the series, even with the slow start he's been on. Yoshima with a $5 holla says, what a win, as Gary said in 2019 against Cleveland. This team refuses to lose. Yes, you're absolutely right. And that game, if I'm not mistaken, when he said that is when J.D. Davis had the post game where I think he had the walk-off himself. It was absolutely pumped up. You know, shout out to J.D., who, of course, is thriving now in San Francisco. Let's see. Professional Certified Hater, thank you so much for donation. Alvy home run. Beatty home run. Pete Alonso grand slam. Markey clutch single versus Class A. Alvy clutch single versus Class A. Lindor wins it against his old team. Buck choosing to pinch hit Vientos with Vogie for speed was smart. It was. I mean, just all around. Pardon me. Buck, I was not happy with him with his bullpen decisions today in the 7th, but the lineup wasn't an issue. And you got to give credit where credit's due on that front. So it was like one thing I was happy with Buck with today, the other I wasn't. All in all, the Mets get the victory. It shouldn't save him from any what's the word I'm looking for? From any judgment from the fans, especially that 7th inning. Aside from that, however, the lineup, very, very happy. I'm so happy that Buck came out today and said, hey, we're going to start all the kids, even against the righty. Because you know what? Vientos' numbers this year in AAA against righties are effing phenomenal. So why wouldn't you? And he should not be a platoon guy. You should not develop him that way. He should be playing every effing day. See what he gives you. His first 2 games as a Met, he has 2 key opportunities. The 2-run dead center home run that Jose Siri just missed the other day, in which I was in attendance for that crazy extra innings win. And then today, when he rips an RBI single up the middle off of Class A, the best reliever, the best closer right now in baseball, and the Mets just slapped him around with the 23 and 21-year-old and said, how you doing? We don't give a shit. You know, we're gonna barrel baseballs against you. Oh, you have a 100-mile-per-hour heater? You think I give a flying you know what? I'm gonna rip it, and we're gonna tie and ultimately win this ball game. Steve Perry with the $20 holla. Thank you so much. He says, how nice is it for once our top kids emulating what Atlanta's prospects do over and over a year? Instant impact. And again, this is what you mean. The Mets finally brought them up at a right time with them thriving. Last year they were rushed up, as we were aware, and they had to get their feet wet a little bit at the MLB level. Having that experience last year for all 3 of them was imperative to now their success so far this season. They don't have the nervous jitters. They know what type of locker room environment they're going to be in. They know what type of atmosphere they're going to deal with at the MLB level, facing MLB caliber pitching, and now they're thriving. So to not only have kids that are all top prospects in their own right, but now thriving, having confidence, especially Alvarez, who's looking insanely confident by the day. I almost thought he was going to charge Quantrill earlier when he got hit by a pitch. He stared out for a second and has ton out. I mean, if I'm Quantrill, I'm shitting bricks. I'm sorry, because Alvarez, El Troll for a reason. He's literally like a little dumpster truck, and he would just go freaking bulldoze you, like insane. I'm obsessed with the kids. I really am. And I can call Alvarez kid because he's actually younger than me, which is sad for me, but great for him. Knows that he's going to have a very promising future, hopefully in Queens. Daniel with the $5 donation. Daniel here says, Polar Bear in 7th inning or later, 55 home runs, 9848 OPS. Let's effing go. Yeah, Pete Alonso, deep into ball games and close ball games, against relievers, good or bad, he absolutely barrels the shit out of. And Pete today as well, with that grand slam against Karinchak, who, albeit, hasn't started well this year. It's almost like Karinchak isn't that good of a pitcher when he can't use sticky stuff in his long-ass hair like he did all last year. You know, all that nonsense bullshit that he was doing all last year, pardon my French. He can't do it this year. And because of that, he's mid. You know, Pete Alonso made it that way. He was mid. He took a Moppo for a grand slam as soon as he was brought in the game. And here I was slightly worried about this schmuck coming in the ball game. Pardon me, you know, so I found that funny too. And it just so funny. Speaking of sticky stuff also, Yanks Yanks, they still got problems. I know Mets had their Scherzer situation, AAA, but Domingo Germán was just thrown out the other day. Clark Schmidt had to go wash his hands today. So, it's going around. The sticky stuff is going around. BJW Cards with the $10 holla. Thank you so much. Scott 8 says, honestly, I'm at the point where I don't want any of these kids trade. You can't buy or force this type of chemistry they bring. Absolutely electric. Unless the Mets are getting Ohtani and guaranteeing an extension, I agree with you. Yeah, I really do. But guys, I just got to ask, from how we were just a week ago to now, the Mets now have 2 massive walk-off victories in the same week alone against 2 solid teams, one of them being the best in baseball currently, the other team below 500, but you can never count Cleveland out. They're a team that, of course, is likely going to make playoffs this year. I want to know, what is your excitement level and interest level now in this Mets team on a scale of 1 to 5? 5 being, I'm absolutely back effing in. This team is back. I'm locked the F in. 1 being, I really couldn't care less right now. I still have major concerns with this club, and these are fluke wins. So on a scale 1 to 5, where do you stand right now on that front? Anthony, I will get back to your donation if I missed it. It wasn't purposeful. Ryan, thank you so much for your $2 holla. He says, this team is going absolutely crazy. Best lineup. This lineup is so much fun. So effing fun. If there's one thing that we can give credit for, it's the lineup right now and how beautiful it looked today. We need to see more of that. I said it, patience, guys. LFGM, shout out to you, Juan, for being a great member on the channel. Will Shea says Alvarez gets up with 2 outs on the best closer outside of Diaz, down on 2. I'm like, all good. You played well. You're a kid. Oh my goodness gracious. Yeah, he said, what? You're gonna count me out just because I'm a kid? No, I'm getting that baseball out of the infield against Class A. That's what's gonna happen. Let me see if I could catch up to a donation that I missed from you, Anthony. Anthony, I don't see your donation. I do sincerely apologize. I'm checking for you. Dun 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 dun. Yeah, I apologize, Anthony. I can't find yours. Say it with me, baby amazins, indeed, Rags. Again, I'm happy to have you in here. I'm going to try to double check on my phone quick. Now let's go to breaking down more of this ball game. Again, Mets win by a final score at 10-9. We're sharing our raw reactions and analysis. Just what a whirlwind of a ball game. I know I got to break down the game soon, so I'm going to do that here in a minute. We're going to get to our awesome sponsors on the channel. But when it's a walk-off victory like this, we just have to kind of live react and really share the emotions for the first 15, 20 minutes. I mean, you got to do it. I'm so pumped, so electric for this team right now. Tomorrow, I don't know what's going to happen with me attending or not. I'm supposed to be attending tomorrow, and I have seats behind home plate. You guys, if I go tomorrow, which I don't know for certain if I am right now, you'll see me right next to the SNY scoreboard. Watch you on TV. Right to the right of it, you'll see your boy, so I'll wave at you. But I don't even know if I'm going tomorrow because of the weather, and I have to do a hike to Safefield. It's not like I live close, so I just don't want to have it where I drive into the city tomorrow just for them to say, oh, the game's pushed, because that's something that the Mets would easily do. So to be determined on that front. But no less, we're going to have Mets coverage over the next 2 days regardless. Let's see here. Speaking of Nito Sucks, he is on a rehab stint. That's someone said. Quintana is going to start throwing off the mound. Him returning early July is looking very strong, which is great to hear. Tim LeCastro was placed on the 60-day IL today with a thumb issue, unfortunately. And Michael Perez was sent down, of course, as the corresponding move for Gary Sanchez that you know about. And Josh Walker, the southpaw, who only came out for 1 outing the other day, was sent down for Cookie Krasu's call-up. But let me get into this. Juan Diaz, thank you for the donation. If the pitching can get it together, this team will be a problem, LFGM. That's what they need, right? That's what they need. The bats are certainly there now. They're putting the baseball and the bat together for this beautiful mix that we call home runs galore. I can't get over Alvarez as production. But guys, talking about this offense a little bit more, just look at it, revel in it, enjoy it. Lindor 3 for 6 today with the RBI. Mick hits with that clutch RBI we need. Alonso 1 for 4 with the grand effing salami. Brett the Met with the opposite field a home run and the RBI. We saw there Eduardo Escobar that came in later in the game for Mark Vientos as a pinch runner. Mark Vientos still, of course, went 1 for 4 today with the RBI. Alvarez 2 for 4 with the ding dong with the with the ding dong with the RBI single. Just so many good things, so many good things that we're getting from this Mets team right now. I'm obsessed. These kids, I am officially obsessed with them right now. But I also see you guys in the chat right now where you're saying, I'm seeing, okay, good. Wow, okay. So the majority of you guys chiming in right now are back in on the Mets train. So all you needed was a couple sick walk-off victories to show that this team once again has life, and you're back on the Mets train after being absolutely deflated the past month. And I don't blame you. Again, there's one thing that I can proudly say is that in heaven, like today, and in hell, like the past month, I'm always going to be covering this Mets team. So through the highs and the lows, good and bad, we're always going to be talking about them. That's what true Mets fans do, right? So I appreciate everyone that has been chiming in through the highs and the lows, and now we can certainly enjoy these big wins together. It's great seeing you excited again. I love the kids too. Yeah, Mark, you said it best. Great member. Shout out to all my live members here watching live and replay. Appreciate you all my new subscribers and previous. Really does mean a lot. It was after Will Shea, right after 27-month membership guy too. Anthony, I will go check out your comment then. If that is the case, let me go double check for you. Let's say Baby Amazings. I love that. So after this 27th membership guy, let me double check. Da-dum-dum-dum. Give me 1 second, everybody. Da-dum-dum-dum-dum. Here it is. Yes, found it, Anthony. Thank you. Thank you so much for a donation. Anthony says, literally tweet this live yesterday to Steve Cohen. They put it out there and they score 10 runs and come back and win. This live needs to go back out there tomorrow. I wholeheartedly agree, and hopefully we see it again tomorrow. Hopefully Buck isn't like, you know what? It's a midday game tomorrow. Let's go put in Tommy Pham and Vogelback and we'll see what we do. No, please, just give me more of the kids. Please, that's all I ask. They're all producing. They were all factors again into this Mets amazing victory. We talked about it, and shout out my boy Jolly Olive, of course, that you guys know. Jolly tweeted the other day, and has aged like milk, which is so great, exactly what you hoped for. How at this point last year, a couple of days ago, like early in the week, he said that the Mets have had no electric moments. Of course, the Mets had a no-hitter last year. They had amazing comeback wins against the Phillies, amazing comeback wins against the Cardinals apiece. All these great moments, and the Mets had nothing. And since then, the Mets already have 2 insane walk-off victories where it was seesaw. The Mets were down, getting back up, down, getting back up, down, getting back up. You're like Stallone out there saying, I didn't hear no bell. They're going back and forth, and ultimately Rocky is knocking his ass out to get the victory. Cue the music, but that music is back in the New York effing groove. That is what that music is, because this team is locked in. And again, pitching today-wise, it drove me nuts. Cookie, more like Cookie shit show. I'm sorry, Cookie. Again, I like Cookie a lot as a person, but he's still not good. Okay? He's not. I know it was his first outing back, so I don't want to be too rough on him, but he hasn't been good in a while, and he's always stuck in first innings. Now he's still dealing with bone chips, bone spurs that wasn't fixed with surgery. He just got a shot to numb the area, so once that wears off, who knows what's going to happen, right? He's just trying to chug through it so he doesn't have to face surgery to have him out for a good portion of the season. Leon, again, had a clean first inning that he barely got out of, and then was trashed and had bases loaded, no outs there in the second inning, and then the Mets had a beautiful double play where you saw Brandon Nimmo make an awesome catch to throw back to home to Alvarez, and that got Brennan stuck, sleeping a little bit in between third and home to get the double play, and then unfortunately Negosa comes in, and then Naylor, who had a 3-run ding-dong off of Cookie in the first, takes a Negosa Capo for a 2-run single to make it a 7-3 ball game, and you're like, son of a gun. It's like the Mets, it was a 2-run deficit. They were crawling back after Beatty hit the third run of the game, which was an opposite field home run. They were crawling back and couldn't get it, but thankfully the bats just wouldn't stop. They were relentless again. And the more that the Mets show this youth movement as an impact in the right direction for this team, the better things that are going to happen. Then you see Ottavino with the 1-2-3-8. Robertson, 1-2-3-9, led by electric defense. Robertson has a .9 ERA on the year, guys. Can we please appreciate that? The guy's a dog. And what was his biggest issue last year and in recent years, knocking on wood to this point? It was his walk rate. Robertson had a 4 walks per 9 last year, guys, at least. This year, complete opposite. Like, it's insane. He's exactly what Ottavino has been for the Mets when Ottavino wasn't giving up a home run like we saw in the other game when the Mets still won and that seesaw against the Rays. And then Drew Flo, again, I like Drew Smith, but just, right down the pipe, and he's giving up a bomb to Arias for Cleveland, who's in there for defense. It's the same way how, what's-his-face, Cam Gallagher, the catcher, who only had 2 hits this season, gets 2 more today, including an RBI against the Mets. It's like, of course, it's the guys down the depth chart that you never heard of that are killing the Mets. The same way that, unless you're a real avid baseball fan or following every team, like, I know who Isaac Paredes and Jose Siri are. Jose Siri was traded last year from the Astros to the Rays, and then we saw a year ago Isaac Paredes was traded to the Rays for Austin Meadows to Detroit. But if you're not aware of that, again, it's more guys that you're like, what the hell? Who are these guys that both hit 2 home runs apiece against the Mets during that Rays series, right? So it's frustrating. It certainly is. But thankfully, one thing is certain, you can't count this Mets team out right now. You literally can't. They're continuing to fight adversity, and they are doing their best efforts. You have to give this team a massive pat on the back for the offensive approach that they have been. It has truly been remarkable, and hopefully we see more of this, guys. That's my main thing that I gotta say on that front. But my other main thing that I of course gotta tell you guys about is my great sponsor here at SoRare MLB. The link is in the live chat in the description down below, guys. SoRare MLB, for those of you guys that don't know, is quite literally the best MLB fantasy game out there on the market right now. And what we're doing with our good friend SoRare MLB, of course, you can buy, sell, trade cards. You can enter for free. You enter weekly tournaments, and how you perform in your tournaments is based on how the players perform in real life. And again, you can win awesome prizes from hundreds of thousands of dollars. And again, every person and their mother in the baseball community and creators are playing this game right now, and for good reason. That's the reason why they're partnered with MLB. So happy to have them as a partner here on the channel. What are they doing besides giving away awesome money? They're giving away free tickets to your Mets games, free merchandise, free VIP experiences to meet your favorite players, and so much more. And now what we're doing, as we see, I'm entered in 3 tournaments right now. One of them, I'm killing it so far, thanks to having Alonso, and I also have Lowe in there, McClanahan, and JV hopefully gives me a solid start. But guys, what are we doing at the end of the month? We are giving away a Brett Baty jersey. So Brett the Met, who just hit an Oppo bomb today and had himself an electric game overall, we are giving away a Brett Baty jersey at the end of the month. And the only thing that you have to do out there, all you Mets beauties, to enter is by clicking the link in the live chat in the description down below, or for people on replay in the comments below, signing up to Wardy's SoRare MLB League for free. All you gotta do is sign up. Again, draft your team, enter tournaments for free. Tournaments will start to begin May 22nd, so in the next couple days for them. And then whoever wins those tournaments, you get free MLB subscription packages, all free of charge. And again, whoever I randomly pick from everyone that's signed up, and again, we only have a couple hundred people, so it's a very small sample size of people versus thousands that are entered in the normal tournaments across the game. My unique league, whoever I pick is going to win a free Brett Baty jersey that we'll discuss in a live show at the end of the month. So again, make sure you're chiming in. We're going to be doing this again until the end of the month. Brett Baty jersey giveaway, guys. Make sure you check it out. You see how easy that is? That's literally all you have to do. Sign up, draft your team, playing tournaments for fun like I do every single week, and you get a chance to win a Brett Baty jersey. I don't see how you can go wrong. So shout out to SoRare MLB, again, for being a great sponsor on the channel. But that is what I want to put you guys on to, because I personally came up with that, you know. He's the one I love having them as a sponsor, and obviously I would love to have them as a sponsor for a very good period of time, which we do. But on top of that, it's mutually beneficial for you guys. You get to play a free game, a baseball fantasy game. It's not betting or anything like that, just a free baseball fantasy game. That's awesome. And you get a chance to win a Brett Baty jersey. So, you know, it's a win-win if you ask me, in my humble opinion. But let's get back to breaking down this ball game. I think it's a great time now if we get into it. And I know Blue Chew, we're going to have to get them back. We're going to have to get them on as a sponsor at some point, right? Not a sponsor, Blue Chew, but if you know, you know. Okay. Let's talk about it. Let's break down this game one by one, inning by inning. I got to do it now, especially for people that say didn't get a chance to watch the ball game or just hearing me ranting. Again, Mets win by a final score of 10-9 is your final. Make sure to enter for our Brett Baty jersey giveaway. Like I said, links in the description. Sign up, join for free, draft your teams, enter tournaments, and we'll pick a winner at the end of the month. But the game starts, guys, like I said, in the first. Rosie, again, I'm always a Ahmad Rosario fan, always was. I even saw him play when he was in AA with the Binghamton Mets before they were even Rumble Ponies, when him and Dom were there. But you have Rosario with a single up the middle, of course, with one out. J-Ram with a walk, and then Naylor rips a 3-run Dane Don off a cookie, okay? It's a 3-run deficit, not looking good in the Mets' favor early on, but I was like, I didn't feel that deflated. I knew that the Mets were going to give up runs first today. That felt inevitable with Carrasco. And with the offense, with the lineup, I felt solid heading into this matchup. I really did. Even when it was 7-3, I knew that you couldn't completely count out the Mets yet with the youth movement. Like, I'm not just saying this out of BS and saying, oh, I told you so. It's not like that. I genuinely did not feel like the Mets game was over at any point in this ball game. The only time I would say that I was really gutted just a little bit was in extras. But at the same time, even with Class A coming in, this team, you can tell that the momentum is now starting to get in their favor. So I wasn't writing off anything completely yet, and that's huge, because as we get to the second, then Straw with a double just misses a home run. That would have been his first home run in over a calendar year. And then Gallagher, the schmuck catcher, again, nothing personal against Gallagher for Cleveland, but again, who is this guy? Rips an RBI opposite field single, and it's a 4-0 lead for the Cleveland Guardians. As we advance to the bottom of the second, Baty with a double, the first extra base hit for the Mets today, but they couldn't drive him in. Then in the third, Carrasco has his first 1-2-3 2-3 inning. Again, Cookie hits in a groove for a short period of time. He wasn't the worst thing imaginable. He surely wasn't good tonight either. He wasn't sharp at all. He was handing pitches. His stuff just isn't that good. That's the issue. It just isn't that good. He's at best a number 5 starter, and he exceeded expectations at times for the Mets in that rotation, which everyone did in certain parts as they were eating innings like crazy. But in the bottom of the third, Alvarez would have hit by pitch, and that's where he stared at Quantrill for a couple seconds and took his base like the young kiddo he is. And then in the fourth, Cookie with another 1-2-3 inning. He retired 7 straight batters at this point, but as we head to the fourth, with 2 outs, Beatty reaches via error. Marte would have hit by pitch, but the Mets couldn't drive anyone in. Vientos, again, started today's game 0 for 3, and that included a ground out there to end the bottom of the fourth. As we head to the fifth, Brennan with a walk and a stolen base, and then Rosario drives him in with an RBI single. So it's a 5-0 Cleveland Guardians lead. Okay, 5-0. Surely Cleveland isn't going to blow this. They're going to blow it. As we get then to the bottom of the fifth, it starts with Francisco effing Alvarez, the 21-year-old phenom, ripping his 4th home run of the year. This time it wasn't a 77-mile-per-hour spinner that I saw against Adam. This was a 90-plus heater, if I'm not mistaken, from Quantrill that he took a deep, how you do it is central, and that makes it a 4-run deficit. Lindor after with an opposite field double with 2 outs. McNeil with 2 outs, choking up a great at-bat against Quantrill, an RBI single up the middle, center right, and that makes it a 3-run ball game. Still in Cleveland's favor at this point. Alonso with a ground out. It was a little annoying because Alonso, it was supposed to be an easy out for Rosario in the infield. He dropped the ball, and because Alonso assumably thought it was going to be easy catch, he didn't hustle down the line. If he did have, maybe things would continue, but Alonso made up for it, to say the least. But then we have Leon come in the 6th. Again, if you're wondering who Leon is, my point exactly. This guy should be eating innings when you have a massive lead, or if you're blown out by at minimum 5-6 runs, like something where it's at least slightly more warranted to punt versus when it's a 2-run deficit. It's a 2-run deficit. And okay, we have Leon in this ball game. Right? Pardon me, 3-run is at this point in the 6th. Naylor with a single, Bell with a single, and a double play thankfully ends the inning. Again, got into a jam, 2 on, no out, but escapes it unscathed. In the bottom of the 6th, Beatty first pitch swinging off a Quantrill, opposite field home run. You'll love to see. Then with 2 outs, Mark Cannon with an infield single. Nothing else transpires. As we head then to the 7th, like I said, Leon is still in the ball game. Bases loaded, no outs for Nogosic to then come in. Rosario flies out. The beautiful throw and catch from Nimmo to Alvarez to get Brennan, who again had a lead, then had to go back to touch the bag, and then it was stuck in between third and home. And thankfully, Beatty got the tag, and Brennan was saying to himself, "Fuck me." And I would say the exact same thing if I got tied up like that. Just bad base running awareness there by Brennan, which was unfortunate for him, but not unfortunate for the Mets. But just when the Mets were trying to get their final out of the inning, as I said already, Naylor rips a 2-run opposite field single to give the Guardians a 7-3 lead. So you're like, son of a you-know-what. Just when the Mets had themselves a 2-run deficit, Leon gives it right back, So as we then head to the 7th, Nimmo with a leadoff walk. Lindor with a single. McNeil with a walk. Bases juice, no outs, and they bring in Karen in check. He doesn't have the sticky stuff in his hair. He can't use it anymore. He throws a pitch, and it's see you later. Opposite bomb. A grand salami for Big Meat Pete. Polar Bear Pete. Pistol Pete. However you want to call him. But I think he's got to go with Big Meat Pete today, swinging that salami to hit the grand salami, if you know what I'm saying. If you know, you know. So that makes it a tied ball game, 7-7 there in the 7th, no less. Then as we head to the 8th inning with a 1-2-3 inning, thank you so much, Adam Ottavino. Much better than what we saw against the Tampa Bay Rays, and which, you gave up that bomb to Lowe, one of the Lows. There's a Josh Lowe and there's a Brandon Lowe, I think. Think it was Brandon? I don't know. Potato. In the 9th, however, Robertson with a 1-2-3 inning. Again, all great defensive galore. McNeil makes a diving stop right there by second base, gets the throw to first. Then Alonso with the final out of the inning, diving stop deep at first base, gets the toss to Robertson. D-Rob, I should say, is absolutely pumped up. I am too. The Mets head to extras, and in extras, Drew Smith gives up an opposite field, no doubt home run to Arias, makes it a 9-7 ball game. But in the 10th, bottom of the 10th, Vientos with an RBI single off the best closer in baseball right now. Eduardo Escobar would come in to pinch run, would steal second base. Again, ballsy base running, wasn't even good running, but thankfully by doing that, the catcher didn't have a good throw, and Rosario didn't have nearly a good chance to pick, and he gets on second base runner scoring position with only 1 out. Alvarez with an RBI single on an 0-2 count against Clase A, pulls that one to left, and there you go. You get yourself a tied ball game, and then Nimmo with an infield single, a little chopper oppo. They can't get the throw in time. Rosario there to first, and then we saw what happens. Francisco Lindor, how you doing up the middle? And that'll do it for the ball game, folks. Just an electric win. Exactly what this Mets team what this Mets team needed. They are 500 baseball for the first time in what feels like a very hot minute. But man, oh man, it came at a great time. It really did. I mean, talk about electricity, talk about being locked in with this Mets team, talk about actually giving a you-know-what about watching this team right now. They have the flavor, they have the life, and more than anything, the kids are producing, guys. As I said, I cannot get over the kids' production right now. It is nothing short of phenomenal. As we just look through the numbers, not that they mean much, Vientos through 2 games, 250 average, 958 OPS. Again, literally means nothing sample size wise. But Brett Beatty, 250 average, just sub 800 OPS. But again, he's looking strong with his at bats. Alvarez, 232, 70, 55 OPS. I mean, it might not be, jaw-dropping numbers, but for how young these guys are and the leash out they're getting, they're taking advantage of their opportunity. And that's quite literally all you could ask for if you're the Mets in this situation. So Mets fans, I'm absolutely losing it. Watch party at one of my bars. Absolutely, Giovanni. Hit me up on Twitter, brother. We will certainly make that happen. Say less. We will gladly make that happen with myself, even Rec and Joe too. We'll see. Speaking of Rec, guys, I don't know if he talked about it yet, but Anthony Recker, my co-host, is doing a Francisco Alvarez breakdown on MLB Network tonight. For those that don't know, Rec is a frequent MLB Network analyst, and he called me before he was even heading to the network tonight, literally late in the game when the Mets were losing 7-3. I was talking to him, saying my expletives like son of a you-know-what as Naylor drove in the 2 runs because he was talking to me about Alvarez. He's like, I really want to do an Alvarez segment tonight, so, I'll see if they let me do it. I'm pretty sure that he has either done it or is going to do it, so make sure you're chiming in to MLB Network. We're going to get it clipped, and we're going to post it on our Twitter, on my Twitter and his Twitter probably too and all that stuff. So Rec doing great stuff, and I got to tell you, Rec especially has been mightily impressed with Alvarez. I mean, that's saying a lot, coming from him, because obviously as a former catcher, regardless of the results that he had at the MLB level, he knows what he's talking about. He certainly does. And Alvarez at his age is so mature. He's so poised, and he's just so locked in now from what we initially saw back in the first couple of weeks when he was initially called up. And Giovanni, you're too kind. Like I said, Giovanni, hit me up via email or hit me up also via Twitter. Twitter DM would work best at WardyNYM, but email, I'll drop my email in the live chat right now too. That'll work well for you. But yeah, make sure to check out Wrecker on MLB Network tonight if you haven't already. Let's see this. Okay, I put the email in there just in case you need it, my man, Giovanni. But again, appreciate you. But guys, I got to ask everybody. I really do. How relieved are you? Just how relieved are you by this performance? How relieved are you by the New York Mets doing things that we could only, we're literally praying for? People were saying, the kids are locked up. They're never going to come up. They're never going to be given opportunities, this and that. Billy Epler hates the kids, all this nonsense, right? Buck Showalter is the biggest kids hater out there. And then they're all in the starting lineup tonight, and they do what they did. So I got to just ask you guys, how relieved are you? How relieved? Because I'm beyond relieved. I mean, I know they're not going to be saviors every night. I understand that, but I'm just so happy. I'm so happy. I'm going to enjoy this. And if there's one thing that I will say annoys me, I hate that the Mets have a midday game tomorrow. It's wins like this that I wish I could just savor for at minimum 24 hours and not have to jump right back into things at 4:10 tomorrow, which further wants me to have it be a game postponed to a doubleheader, so we don't have to deal with any potential rain delay nonsense. But yeah, we'll find out tomorrow on that front, but just so relieved. Mickey M says, Wardy, I'm going to say a 1 to your ask earlier. Yes, these games have been great, no doubt, but until the Mets do the same against lesser teams, win games they're supposed to win, I still don't feel good. That's a fair argument, and again, I still have major concerns with this Mets team on the pitching front. Do not get it twisted as well. I will say this, however, as frustrating as the Mets have been against bad teams, it's nice to see them do well against competitive teams and teams that are good, right? The Mets have series wins this year against the Tampa Bay Rays, MLB's #1 team at the moment, the LA Dodgers, the Padres, who albeit the Padres have not been playing well to this point, but they will get better. I know they're unbelievably talented not to, right? And then they've lost series to the Rockies, to the Reds. They haven't won a series in 2 matchups against DC, Detroit. The list goes on and on. So Yeah, it's been frustrating with how the Mets have handled their biz so far this year. But again, if you're going to win games and win series, do it against good teams as well. It shows that they play up to their competition at least, even if they play down, which is also frustrating. River Ave, thank you so much, I know you've chimed in here before, guys. Shout out 161 River Ave. My man is a fantastic Yankees YouTuber, and I know you're thinking, Yankees, why the hell are we talking Yanks? No pun intended, literally, with that show in its own right. But he does phenomenal Yanks coverage. He posts every single day, anything and everything Yankees, especially if you like to keep up with all New York sports, all New York baseball teams. Make sure to check out 161 River Ave. He does a great job. I know you've collabed with my man Derek at NY Recaps too. You probably know my boy Pat Hennessy as well. But yeah, at some point, that would be awesome. I definitely plan to do Subway Series stuff, probably with Derek and possibly Pat. Maybe we can do like a whole roundtable thing, which would be fun to share perspectives from both sides. So we'll see. But again, appreciate you chiming in, my friend. I hope you're doing well. Appreciate the support, and good luck with all your content as always. Let's see. There's no pitching on farm. Speaking of pitching, just briefly, guys, and then we'll get to wrapping things up soon. Mike Vasile just pitched another masterful outing in Double-A. He is quickly high-rising as if not the Mets' #1 prospect pitching-wise, and #2 right behind Blade Tidwell. He's playing so good, and Dominic Campbell, I would say, is #3. And he's playing so good that Vasile could find himself as either a late-season call-up if the Mets get desperate, which hopefully they don't, or a guy that can certainly impact his team potentially as soon as next year, like the David Pearsons who came from Double-A all the way to the bigs, like the Tyler McGills who went from Double-A to Triple-A to the Mets all in 1 year. Again, you don't want to rush prospects at all, that's for certain, but Vasile is looking like an absolute gem. He is carving up hitters in Double-A, and hopefully that continues because the Mets need as much pitching depth as they can get in the minor leagues, and hopefully that's a name that stays in the organization and isn't traded away. But I'm just encouraged to hear that Jose Quintana is like ahead of schedule now. They're not going to rush him, obviously, but if he returns at any point in July, I mean, Tacoma said today early July looks good for him, let alone at any point in July, I certainly am going to be happy because that's still prior to the trade deadline, which is key, right? You need to see what you can get in hopefully a couple weeks span at least before making the ultimate decision on it, what type of arms, if at all, you're going for the trade deadline, because odds are the Mets will certainly be looking for some. That's for sure. Let's see. What's up, Wardy? How's it going, my man? How's it going, Jacob? Happy to have you in here. But Mets fans, I'm going to get out of here in a minute. I got to get shut-eye. Like I said, I don't know what's happening with tomorrow's Mets game, so if I will be there, look out for your boy behind home plate. You should be able to see me on the television. If I'm not there, though, I'll probably put it on the community tab so you guys don't have to go wandering for me because I have had many of you guys already reach out trying to meet up at some point during the game. I might do that as much as I possibly can, and I appreciate everyone so much for being so kind and sweet as you always are. But if I am attending tomorrow, if the game does happen, guys, I highly implore you all, regardless on if I'm there or not, to make sure you go to the marina a lot early in the ball game, a couple hours early, weather permitting, and go hang out with Darren in the 7-Line. They're going to be doing their thing in the marina. They're going to be playing cornhole. They're going to be popping drinks. They're going to be eating goods. They're going to be having a great time. So again, as long as the game happens tomorrow, look out for the 7-Line there in the marina as they have their typical outing this Saturday, and they're always a blast. So if I'm there, I'll be hanging out in the marina a lot pregame for at least an hour or so, and then of course I'll see you guys in the ballpark. But I'll keep you guys updated. No clue what's going to happen tomorrow yet. Really hope the Mets would announce a decision on that front, but they probably won't until it's last minute. But guys, before I get out of here, I of course have to let you know about my great friends at Manta Sleep. You know the deal with our good friends at Manta Sleep. The Manta Mask Pro that I have here, the best damn Manta mask on the market. So affordable, so comfortable using this bad boy every single night. I know I'm going to need it tonight because I got to wake up early because regardless on if I go to Queens tomorrow or not, I got to wake up early to be ready for the day. And that's how I do it with my Manta Sleep Mask Pro. Again, best sleep mask on the market. And all you got to do is use my promo code WARDY for 10% off your purchase by clicking the link in the description down below. And tell you guys just shortly a little bit more on Manta Sleep and who they are, not only being just great Manta masks, but great friends on the channel as a great sponsor. they have Bluetooth masks like this where you can listen to music. So if you're trying to tune things out when you're going to bed, say you have noise going around, you want your own sound, you want your own music, you turn on, you want to play a little bit of Billy Joel, you want to turn on a little bit of Slipknot, you want to turn on some freaking whale noises, whatever you want, whether you're sleeping at home, whether you're sleeping on a plane when you want to deal with nonsense, a lockout light, whatever you want to do, that's where the Bluetooth mask comes into play. Or if you want to get yourself a nice weighted mask, they have that. A cool mask if you're going to bed hot at night, the way that I am after big post-game shows, get some nice cooling around your eyes. If you want a Manta steam mask, so it's the reverse, the opposite. Maybe it's a cold winter night, it's cold in your house, the AC, pardon me, not the AC, the heat ain't going up because your dad's like, it's too expensive. All right, I'm going to use the heat mask then to get the rain around my eyes nice and comfortable too. They have all your sleep mask needs for unbelievably beautiful prices, and you see how happy she is, and I'm happy that she's happy, and I'm happy that I have my Manta sleep mask. So guys, let me pop this bad boy off. I'm going to slip this bad boy on. I'm going to go get my Manta sleep and get some nice REM sleep the way that I know that you guys can certainly appreciate. So again, that is promo code WARDY for 10% off your purchase. Manta Sleep Mask Pro is what I'm using here. You can get yours today using my promo code WARDY for 10% off your purchase. Clicking the link in the description. Shout out Manta for being a great sponsor on the channel, and shout out all you beauties for being great supporters on the channel. And now I'm going to get out of here. Have a great one, folks. The Mets win. Final score 10-9. They look for the series W tomorrow, weather permitting, with Mad Max on the bump. And then Sunday night, that game will be happening no matter what. ESPN, so I know you're going to want to mute that because no one wants to listen to that garbage. You got to try to tune up Howie on the radio. Do whatever you got to do to make sure you get it right for JV on the bump against Shane Bieber. Hopefully a pitching duel, and hopefully JV comes out victorious, looking for a bounce-back outing after getting roughed up a bit by Isaac Paredes the other day against the Rays. Thank you guys so much. Love you all to death. And as always, let's fucking go Mets. Peace out.